All right, hello, welcome to Adventures on Lollygagging and Friends. Tonight, we are not playing Otherscape because we just want to talk politics, geopolitics.
Yeah, let's do it.
We had a lot of strong opinions coming on, so I figured let's kick it over. So, who wants to start? Melissa, you want to start? You want to say some of the things that you were saying before we went?
Absolutely do not. Nope.
No. Okay. Wow,
45 months.
Didn't realize there were so many cowards on the stream right now. Start throwing some haymakers. Let's do it. Let's burn the whole sucker down. Let's go.
I would rather 45 month sub. Thank you.
Oh, really? Who did that? Who did 45 month sub?
That way.
Oh, Adam. Thank you, man. That's very kind.
You're welcome. Wow.
I mean, I know you're only doing it because you wouldn't play in the game, like it's basically you're buying our love.
Yeah. That's my ticket into the
game. Oh goodness. But hey, we're back. Hey, we got Jeremy back. So we got the full crew. Jeremy doesn't realize his character is literally covered in shit and various other types of wastes.
That sounds delightful for my character.
I think it fits. You're probably
means I've got a nice snack to go.
You're probably growing even more lusciously than normal.
Yeah,
your plants and such. But yeah,
like a drive through, but a slide through.
Yeah,
it was an interesting session, and I got the shot. I got a shot. Oh my god, I got to shoot Chuck several times with a turret. It was very fun. Fun. I thought Chuck was going to say something. Oh, he's muted.
I did. I was muted twice.
Oh wow!
No.
I was just gonna say, yeah. You even shot me a few times in the game as well.
It's true. Yeah. It's interesting. Like Chuck's probably like the biggest person here, and I have him like the smallest on the overlay. I gotta fix that. Like he looks so tiny. He looks like a little,
so tiny.
Little leprechaun. I can just pick him up, put him in my pocket. All right, there we go. That's fantastic. All right, so yeah, let's get back to it. Let's just dive in. So last time around, you all began your infiltration of the Stratus building, which is the building that is home to both Ironclad, which is a paramilitary tech company, and Big Red, which is the local law enforcement within the district of Arizona Bay that you guys are currently in. Rika and Mallory, you went right through the front door. Mallory, you hid that data spike you made in your stomach, which managed to confuse some scanners. So you have it on you, which is good. It's not making you feel very good, but you have it on you. Rika, you eventually had to surrender your guns, which was a little rough. But you contacted Donna Lime, the woman you met in the Glow Market, and she came down from her office in HR. You had some tea. And then you managed to charm your way into a tour of her HR level, which you initially didn't want to do. So the two of you managed to get up into the upper levels, or at least the sort of the mid levels of the building. Mallory kind of followed. Donna has no idea who Mallory is, fortunately. Once you got off the elevator, Mallory, you went right into a bathroom. You found this small vent, and you started body shaping your way through like a little snake, like a sneaky little snake. I think when we were going off the air, I said it reminded me of the Lemmy Wings episode from South Park, and he's just like moving around in the vents. Rika, Donna took you to her cubicle where she spoke glowingly about her grandmother and how she really wants this promotion and she can't have anything go wrong because if she can get that promotion, she can finally pay for her grandmother's medical bills. And as we know, her grandmother runs some kind of nonprofit for orphans and stuff like that. So there's that. So you're going to screw her over pretty soon, probably. And then you also headed to the bathroom. You clocked some faces of various administrators that you saw on the walls. And that was about it. So I think we left you and you're in the bathroom. The rest of the crew, you went into the sewers. Ivan, you sent your gremlin ahead, was able to spot some of these robo roaches or things that were guarding the tunnels and had most likely cleaned up some of the slums some of the people that were living down here. You found a waste disposal chute. You started climbing up it. You got a little sick along the way. So I think some of you might have some tags that are running on that. And then eventually you tried to slip out into what looked to be like a chemical storage or a disposal warehouse or something like that. But Ivan, you got detected by a gun turret that was detecting motion and just shot you. Clover, you made a run for a console nearby trying to hack into the turret and shut it down. But then another one activated. The alarm started sounding. Rana, you charged in. There was a worker that was piloting a forklift, so you charged at her and you put a dagger to her throat, thinking maybe the turret's not going to target you. But then the turret very much targeted you in the forklift, in the worker, and started lighting up your area.
Beep, beep.
And I think that is where we left off. So let's dive in. I want to get Garricus in here pretty fast. So Garricus, I think we said off air or whatever that you're probably with the crew, right? You're probably with the sewer crew. Is that fair?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to say. You are the last to. You haven't left the waste disposal chute. So it's a very long chute. You guys have climbed all the way up to the top. There's this big open door. It was pushed open. Ivan's out in the warehouse. Clover's out in the warehouse. Verana's out in the warehouse. You hear the sounds of gunfire. You hear the sounds of an alarm. You hear the sounds of Ivan probably saying something along the lines of "Ow, I'm shot," yeah, like that. And so shit's going down.
I know.
So if you peek open, you can see there's Ivan on the ground, some bullet holes. You can see Clover's getting shot up. You can see sparks as some of the gun turret is shooting down at Clover. And then you can see Verana is also kind of pinned down at the forklift. That is what you see. Garricus, it's been a couple weeks. What would you like to do?
Wow. Okay.
Just climb back down.
Real quick note. So Chuck has recommended in chat, and I second this motion, Jeff, that we are the poo crew.
We're the poo
crew. That's very good. That's very cool.
Nice.
That's very good. I like it. Okay. Well.
Okay.
Garricus. Poo crew is getting completely splattered out here.
Is it multiple turrets or like one primary turret?
There are. I think I said there were multiple. I can't remember if I put a number on it. We'll say there's two. One that is firing at Ivan, one that is kind of targeting over by Verana. It's a very large warehouse, multi-level. You can see there's various storage items like barrels and crates and things like that are probably marked for disposal. And then you can see that there's at least one, if not multiple, workers that are kind of scrambling to the sound of the alarm.
Okay. Well, I feel like if I can't I'll be moving towards one. I'm not sure if I'd be able to necessarily get to one right away.
You certainly could, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You could.
I'll even use send out some vines towards one to basically snap himself towards it, whip himself up into it, kind of put his feet forward, kind of mule kick into whoever's at the turret there. So he'll be using his vines.
Okay.
Toss himself into it, and then some brute strength just to try and kick the living snot out of him.
Okay.
And then for the first time that he's really used it, while he's doing that, he'll say his little special word. And the backpack normally looks like a little bit of an off backpack, but it actually opens up, and briefly there's kind of like this pink opaque version of Ariana that steps out, and I'll use coordinated attack as it's not her per se, but it's like a little avatar for her, and she'll pull out what looks like a tiny little derringer, like something a little feet lady would have, and it's just this tiny little. It'd be like if Gambit shot a tiny little derringer bullet.
Okay.
Just like right after he comes swinging, hits the dude, and then.
So you just hear as she comes out of the bag, she's like, "I'm with you, sweetie. Let's pop a cap in these fuckers." As she starts pointing the gun around. Okay.
Exactly.
They have one tag working against you. They do have heavy plating, so that'll probably work against your attack. But otherwise, I think you're good to go.
All right. I haven't used the new sheet yet, so I'm trying to mess with it.
Okay, so the way it works is, so click on your token on the main screen, as opposed to going into your character sheet. Then click on the words of each of the tags that you want to activate.
Okay,
and then at the very bottom, you can hit the minus to add a negative. Okay, and then you should be able to go ahead and press 3, because there's what are those things called?
Got my
macros
things
at the bottom.
Clicked, and then where do I click? Sorry, I just now got my stuff clicked.
There's a macro
if everything's
bar
clicked,
at the bottom, so you
there's a macro bar.
Yep.
Yeah, so you may have to.
You're
click
doing
the
a tracked attack. Yeah, so you're doing number 3, tracked attack.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. It's a 9. Perfect. Okay. Very good. So we'll say minor consequence here. So you're going to have 3 power to spend here in a sec. So why don't you go ahead and spend it, and then I'll talk about what the consequence might be.
Okay.
So what would you like to do to this turret? And I'll say this. Are you attacking the one that's shooting at Ivan or the one that's kind of pinning down Vrana on the forklift?
Well, Vrana, were you like up on one? Because I thought I remembered hearing like you had your throat up on somebody.
She's got her knife against her dagger against a forklift driver. But
okay.
The gun turret is literally lighting up the forklift without concern whatsoever for the worker. So
okay, we'll go with that one because that's the one most recently mentioned. We'll say that's what he saw first. And
fair enough. All right. So you have 3 power to spend.
Yes.
You can just give it a harmful status. So if you want to do that, remember that I know it's been a couple weeks for you, but like each of the adversaries,
like tiers.
Yeah, they have. So like if you just want to spend all your power there to give it like an attack of some kind, strangled, broken, wrecked, something like that, you could.
Given the nature of like, what would it be? Is it 2 to try and do something like disarmed? Like he comes in and like hits the turret in a way that it's not able to fire straight.
Yeah, so I would say if you wanted to, it has motion sensor targeting. So if you wanted to spend 2 of your two of the power that you have to essentially disable that, it would mean that it can't like automatically kind of hit. It would so it's harder for it to hit people basically. So if you wanted to say that, you could.
So maybe do 2 of that and then 1 to just hurting the person in the actual turret.
Well, no, the turrets are automatic. The forklift is something different. Like, so the turrets are hanging down from the ceiling. So it's like these are like automated.
Apologies.
No, you're good, man.
Basically, all 3 into the turret, so to speak.
Okay.
1 to mess up its.
Okay. So I'll give it like rec 1 because that's a status, and then we'll say that you've eliminated its motion sense. So it's basically you've jammed its targeting in some way.
Okay.
So we'll say it'll take penalties on certain things, or it won't actually have its benefit of people trying to move. Okay. So what does it look like? Describe what happens as you actually successfully attack this.
Basically, the vines shoot out. He kind of flings himself up there, and it totally, not at all, copyright free version of flipping, so to speak. Brings himself up there. Mule kicks into it. That's probably like a little bit of wrecked, and then Ariana actually shoots it in someplace vital to mess up its targeting. Okay.
I'll say consequence-wise, like maybe I mean you rolled really well, but small consequence. Maybe we'll say like as you like I'll say as like you're firing off at this one, like you can see that like the forklift driver maybe is able to then, because you've like stop the firing, is able to kind of get out from underneath Vrana, and so now Vrana like doesn't necessarily have the dagger as the 2 of you were kind of like dodging the bullets, and so the forklift driver is essentially like separated from your knife. So there is still this other turret that is firing down at Ivan, and you can see sparks on the ground. Some of it's shooting over towards Clover. Vrana, the forklift driver, isn't attacking you, by the way. They're just trying to scramble off, like, and just trying to scramble down away from you. Who else wants to go next here? And there is that alarm still going crazy.
I would say Vrana will try to regain some type of kind of control over this person. Like, my end goal is that I want to kind of threaten them into like turning off the alarm and assisting us, that like we've got them outnumbered. So like she still kind of wants to like have the dagger kind of towards them in a kind of threatening manner, but like if you assist us, no harm will come to you.
Okay.
But turn the damn alarm off.
Okay. Give it a go. So if you're going to take that as the other turret is still firing, you're going to try to get her to give you some sort of way of shutting them down. Yeah.
Okay,
what do you want to put together
in terms of tags, I've got my dagger out. Like, I still have control of my dagger, so that's still a threat. So
yeah, I think that's fair.
I would use that. I'm not really much of a face person, so like if I would in a threatening stance be able to access my ancient fighting techniques. Like those would be the two things that I'm trying to be threatening to them.
Okay, so you're trying to, you're trying, so you're using like your fighting
I'm
techniques
intimidating
to
them into
to intimidate or like get her in like a chokehold or something like that?
Yeah.
Sure, you can take those.
And then would I have any negatives to this?
No, she's just a worker. She doesn't have any specific tags against you.
Quicker tracked, sorry, for...
this is going to be, we're going to be tracked. Well, no, you can do it quick because it's really just do you succeed at threatening her or not? Yeah.
Heck yeah, I do. I rolled 2 5s and I added 2 for a total of 12.
Okay.
So Verona is threatening.
So as she manages to like take that moment when Agaricus kind of disrupts the turret to separate from you, you quickly like swirl down the forklift and grab her as she's trying to run away. And like you hold the dagger to her and you just like turn them off. And she's just like, Gatso, code. And then she just starts shouting out a code and she's like pointing over to where Clover is. Like there's a lot of different like, barrels and crates and stuff like that are all over the place. Some of them are teetering. Some of them have bullet holes in them and you can see like her dripping stuff onto the floor. But she's pointing exactly where Clover is and she just sort of shouts out this code at this point.
Punch it in.
Okay, and so Clover, as you punch it in, you hear like a as this turret that's been firing at you. You can see that it was getting ready to unleash like another volley down by you and Ivan. And as you quickly like punch it in, you're able to see like it just sort of shuts down at that point. The alarm's still going off, but the turrets have stopped firing. You hear the sounds of people moving on rafters, like on like some of the rafters up here. Like there's like a wraparound balcony, and people are kind of running. And you can see they're running away. They're not like running towards you. This isn't security. These are just workers. These are factory workers, and they're literally running away. Some of them might be shouting like "security, security," something like that. But you can see they are workers running away from you. Anyone want to do anything about this?
I want to try and see if there's a way to lock the room down, like biohazard wise.
Okay.
So that they're not able to leave without being cleared or something.
So you want to like
that'll give us a chance to like
book a biohazard warning of something like that. Okay.
Yeah, because it's like a stored. I imagine there's some sort of biohazard thing that like lock the doors and keep people from being able to leave.
So how would you want to go about doing that? Are you trying to spoof it, like actually in the system, which is like a hack? Or are you actually trying to just start ripping open some of these marked for disposal, like crates and barrels, to actually create a hazard?
That one sounds a lot more fun, so I'm gonna do that.
All right, let's do it. Okay, just this is phenomenal.
Why spoof a biohazard when you can create a biohazard?
Yeah.
So this to me sounds more like a thinky thing for you. This is probably works for you. Like as you're looking at the different containers here, the different signage and symbols on them, trying to figure out what's the right thing to release. So maybe it's like just a quick assessment of the inventory, and that's what you just start like, firing or ripping open or whatever it might be. So give me give me a tracked outcome too, because we'll say that the degree to which you succeed could be the degree to which the hazard warning might pop out.
So are all of these materials like, are any of them like mythosy, or are there any like sort of things that are labeled as like otherworldly type of hazards? That
I will tell you that based upon the quality of the roll that you there could be. There could be. Yeah.
Because if there could be, I'll try and leverage my knowledge of the occult and see if I could see anything that's like potentially hazardous of otherworldly type stuff. And my investigator, I think, will help. Yeah. Analytical would help, but I burned it. And I feel like this is risky.
This is very risky.
Literally causing a biohazard.
Yeah, you're literally causing one, so this could be rough. Okay.
So I'll do risk taker's luck charm. That'll give me 3. I think that's all the ones that make sense that I have. So occult
I'll say
investigator.
because you're not getting shot at or
luck charm.
anything. I'll say no negative against you either. So
Okay. You said this is a quick outcome.
no, it's gonna be a track because like the quality of your roll is
tracked.
going to determine like whether you piece together like the right kind of combo.
Okay. 11.
Okay. 11's really good. So
Nice.
you succeed. You get 3 power to spend. So what I would say is we're gonna do. We can go ahead and say like a. What do we want to do? We want to do a biohazard lockdown. Do you want to put all your points into it? We can create a like a environmental status here.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do all 3 into that.
So the room now has the environment. So as you start like shooting open and ripping open some of these containers, you can see liquid start falling. You see gas starts emitting. Like the woman who you have pinned, Vrana, is freaking out. No, not that one! As like Clover just starts firing her way to something that's marked like WRA4 offload. And like you just see this like weird red symbol on it. It just looks kind of like a talon looped around underneath itself, and you just like rip it open, and this it sort of comes out not like liquid, but more like sludge. It just sort of spills out, but immediately like you feel this heat begin to emanate from it, and it's at that point the alarm shifts, and then you hear everything start to shut down. The chute. You realize is now shut down, and you have succeeded in kind of creating a biohazard lockdown. So you're in this big warehouse. There's workers. Got the turret shut down. Alarm's still going off, and you just created a biohazard lockdown. Ivan, we haven't heard from you. Is there anything you want to do before I check in with the other 2?
How aggressive is this turret still looking, or was it disabled by punching that code in?
He put the code in, and they seem shut down, but they, one of them's pointed right at you. You can see it was getting ready to like recharge and fire, but it doesn't seem to be active currently.
So all I would be looking to do right now is to just go find some shelf that I can go hide behind real quick.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and heal myself through fire.
Okay.
Like, cauterize the bullet wounds a little bit.
Okay. Give a roll. Give a tracked outcome roll. We could say you rush over while they're all hiding. You take, or while they're all creating this interference. You duck down and you start like cauterizing wounds and things. Yeah, give a roll.
Sure.
We'll see what you can do here.
Okay. We'll just use.
Make your way over to Vrana because she has medical knowledge.
She's got the biogel, but we'll get there. It's still spicy. And then how much penalty do I have to take from my burn 3 and shot 2?
You
and
would take
second
all
one?
of it. Yeah, you would take all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. 4, 5. It's only a minus.
How does that
6.
factor in?
So
-6. Good gosh.
So it'd be a minus. So basically, I would say you have a burn 3, you have shot 2, and you have sickened 1. Okay, that's fine. I would say we don't necessarily need to combine those. I would probably put burned and shot kind of on the same track, so you have like 2 and 3 on like physical damage.
Okay.
So I would say you're taking like a minus. So I would say a -3. Take the biggest penalty.
Okay. Gladly. And this is a tracked outcome.
You got this.
I don't know which one it is. So we're going with that one.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, no.
You rolled better than what
Oh.
kicked this off.
Chuck rolled
I got
so
a
bad.
2.
Oh man.
Is that good?
You got the 1 and a 2.
It's very much not. Okay. Give it.
Gosh.
Game and
I'm gonna
Chuck.
some of whatever it was that Clover just tore open and that woman yelled, "No, not that one." I'm going to say some of that got on you. And as you go and you're like singeing yourself, that suddenly suddenly bursts, and there's like this like the sludge itself almost immediately vaporizes, and there's this like mist that starts getting all up in your face. And when you are able to see again, your eyes are kind of sort of dripping with like tears. Anyone looking at him sees that they're bloodshot. The sclera is getting redder and redder. And then Ivan, you feel so fucking mad right now. So pissed off. Oh, God. Give yourself the status of Wrath 3. And you're just, and so like you're like this, you are overtaken with this sense of rage and wrath as you breathe in this vapor. And we'll check back. We'll check back on that in a second.
Clover open?
Did I say?
Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I decided to loop in 28 days later and with RoboCop and Dre. We're just gonna make it all together. Let's check in with Rika and Mallory, both of whom were recently in bathrooms. Rika, what was your plan? Because you came in here looking to try to get a way out. Unfortunately, you couldn't find a way out because we had established that the vents were very small. That's how Mallory got through them. But you don't really have it, and you know that Dawn is just right out there.
Yeah. So I've been giving this some thought since last week, and I've come up with something that's fairly stupid, and I feel like I need to apologize to her first. But
Joe just released the rage virus, so it's fine.
So Donna's right outside. I'm gonna open the door like just a little and say to her quietly, like, "Hey, could you come in here a second?"
What? Oh, sure. And so she comes. Are you okay? Did you need something?
Yeah. No, I'm fine. And she grabs her by the wrist and takes her into one of the stalls.
Okay.
And closes the door.
Okay. And she's just like she's just like taken off, taken aback by it, like not like in an angry way, but she's like you could hear her like her like the air just kind of go out of her.
I mean, similar to Mal, I'm like, okay, if they have cameras in here that I can't see, like there's a slight chance they might not have it inside the stalls. So that's the intention and hope. But in any case, once they are inside, Rika's gonna run a hand through her hair and be like, all right, listen, it wasn't supposed to happen like this, all right? I'm a professional. I don't get involved, and but you had to show up with fucking kebab and your goddamn grandma and the way your hair does that thing, and I just, you're too good for this grimy mess and the people involved, and I want to get you that promotion. And if you let them do it on their schedule, you fucking know that he's gonna get promoted, and one of the boss's nephews or nieces is gonna get hired. You are not going to get promoted. You're not going to be able to save your grandma. So let me help you save your grandma, and I have an idea, and you have to trust me, but I'm gonna do right by you. And I'm saying this to you now because I don't want to knock you out and just do the shit I can do.
She is. There's been a roller coaster of emotions. Her face, like she's been like one of it was excitement, then it was like confusion. Now it's a little bit of fear as you just start to knock her out. So I think there's like what are you talking about? What? Why are we? What is going on? What? And she is confused. I think as she, and she's like I think maybe I think maybe I'm gonna go. I think maybe you should go. I think
just I'm gonna go. I just let me do this for you before I go.
What? No. I do. And she's like turning for the. You have to make a roll here. You literally just threatened to knock her out, so you're gonna have to make a roll before we push this any further. Because So put something together. You're talking about doing something for her and doing it for her, and if not, you'd have to knock her out. So I'm gonna say the threat of physical violence is gonna, I think, counteract the flattery
I
here.
don't have my guns on me, so I'm just trying to figure some shit out that doesn't involve that.
Okay.
But I wonder if I can use tough as nails or intimidating, and worked unusual jobs to kind of imply that I maybe I'm a merc or something to that effect.
I think intimidate and everything is fine. I don't really see how worked unusual jobs applies. Like she works in HR. That's not particularly unusual.
I did have a suggestible 2 tag on her.
Yeah, I'm gonna say flattered no, because you just threatened to hurt her.
Flattered doesn't.
But I'll say suggestible you can still take.
Okay, so how does that work if I have 1 tag and 1 power?
So you've got she's at suggestible 2, so you have basically a 4-point bonus. Essentially, if flattered was better, but like we're not going to apply it because of the
I don't say flattered working here. That is a 10 on my roll, a 6 and a 4. And you said my bonus.
Yeah, so you rolled a 10 plus 4. You had 4. You had going. So you had 14. Okay. So what are you trying? So what are you spending that on? Because like I'm not really clear what you're trying to do here.
Okay.
Other than
what my general plan is don't RP it out, but this is what I'll explain to her is that I want to kind of make a show of like tying her up and whatever else, and basically like overpowering her physically. And what I'd like to do is to take her clothes, take her employee card, and go to her supervisor and get his employee card looking like her, and then go upstairs to the holding cell.
Okay, we're gonna have to wind it back. I don't see, like, it's not mind control. I don't see like you want to take her clothes, you want to tie her up. Like, I don't think she's agreeing to that. I don't think it's mind control. Okay. So I just don't think she's going to treat. If that's something you want to achieve, then I think you're going to have to spend your. I think you're gonna like. That's just that's a bridge too far, I think.
Okay.
But so she will. I'll say she doesn't. You made your roll before, so I'll say your roll is going to keep her from just busting out of the bathroom and screaming for help, and she's just going to turn back to you. I don't know who you are. You're very nice. You're very, but I think maybe it's time that you just go. You haven't done anything wrong. Everything's fine. So I won't say anything. So maybe if you just go to the elevator and go down, and everything's gonna be fine. I won't say anything. You won't say anything. You can even call me later, and that's fine. And this will be a joke that we talk about at some point. Like, yeah. So, and she just kind of like puts a hand on your shoulder. She's like, let's just take a deep breath. I don't know what's happening here.
I'm gonna knock her out.
Okay. All right. So, I will say. There's really no. I'm not going to require a role. She's an HR employee, and you're a trained professional. So I'll say, carrying over the role that you had before. You're able to quickly, as she's like, got her hand on you, everything's be fine, and you just kind of like smack her head against the side of the urinal, and then she just collapses to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna do the thing to Sunlight, which is to try and make her physically.
Absolutely. So we basically cut from there as you're switching out clothes, you're taking her ID, etc. And with that, let's check in on Mallory. Last we saw of Mallory, he was a slippery snake. He was going through the vents. So, Mallory, you haven't run across like any specific like no sounds have been alerted or anything like that. You seem to just be moving through. This is not like really supposed to be a crawl space. It's really just the size of your skull, and everything else is compressed. And you've just been like moving up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and occasionally I'm gonna like, and when I get to a vent, I'm gonna like peer forward and like open, and then like maybe the eye will come out just a little bit to try and get a better angle through that vent and come back in, and I'll be like, oh, gosh, damn it.
Okay. At one point,
because I'm trying to identify where the security room is.
Yeah, you're trying to find a way to security. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. At one point, as you're like squirming down a vent, and you can see at the far, like down one of these shafts, at the far end, you see there's a vent. You see light kind of coming in, but you also notice that, not unlike what Ivan, when he brings out his gremlin, like he has a little tech gremlin, you do see these little sprites down there. And like one of them's just kind of sitting around, and it almost looks like they're smoking a cigarette. And like you can see that the two of them are just kind of standing by, and you just hear them. Did you hear it was going down by waste management? Like, no, it was going down by waste management. And like, there's an alarm going off. They always have all the fun. It's so boring up here. No one ever comes. Why do we even have to guard this? This is so ridiculous. And they're just kind of talking back to each other, and they're like this big, and they're like this tall, and like there's some weird kind of like, mythos creature, right? They're like some sort of summon, and they seem to be guarding this small little narrow vent, because it's the only thing that would fit in here, and they are specifically guarding what looks like an exit from the shaft.
Damn it. Okay. All right. So I can see them, right?
You can see them. They don't really seem to be doing their job. They seem to be very bored and talking to one another. So they're like the size of, they're like gremlins, like literally all the time.
Yeah. So I'm assuming like maybe they're in like a little like area that's kind of like hollowed out for them, or well, like it's just a little bit larger for them, and then like I'm above them. Is that how it is? Okay. So I'm looking down.
Sure.
And I'm just going to try and make them really want to leave. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to give them the old evil eye.
Okay.
And I'm going to afflict them with boils. Okay. Now, on the way out, I want them to get caught up in stuff. So I also want to hit them with the curse of clumsiness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm just trying to make him like get sick, and need to go to the medical facility or something like that.
You've been sitting on that afflict with boils.
Yeah.
Tag.
So afflict with boils. Okay. They do have one little kind of like this sort of magical defense tag that I'm not going to reveal at the moment. But
yeah, sure.
That'll be -1.
They have one? Okay.
Yeah, they have -1. But otherwise, you're good. If you want to give that a go.
Well, you know the other thing is about the evil eye.
Yeah.
Misfortune is infectious, right?
Cascades to the other one.
Well, it could cascade to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna include that too, and then so a -1 for the overall difficulty too. So it would probably like the dice will probably say +1 in the end.
Okay, so you're doing evil eye, afflict with boils, curse of clumsiness, and you're also going to click on your misfortune is infectious. That's your weakness. and the -1 like magic protection aura they have. So basically, you have a net of +1. This is gonna be a tracked outcome. See how well you do.
Tracked attack, tracked empower, tracked extras.
It doesn't. They roll the same. It's just about what helpful stuff pops up. That's all.
All right.
Wow.
Whew, okay.
Phenomenal. That is phenomenal.
What a nice
I was
roll.
sitting
6
like,
and
man,
5.
my luck from the other night's not going to stick around. It looks like it did for this one roll at least.
Okay. So you wanted to afflict them with boils? Is that's what you wanted to do?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I want them to like get out, like go to the infirmary,
Okay.
and perhaps like
Cripples
it'll
go to
take-
infirmary.
it'll take them a while to do that because
Sort of
they'll
a
be
joke.
clumsy and stumbling around.
Okay. So one of them is just like smoking, you know, and they're like, "Hey, what's that on your face?" I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, that thing on your face. It's my nose. It's right here. It's my nose. You see? It's right. No, the other thing of it. Oh, this. Oh God, what is that? Is it just sort of like explodes, and so there's like pus kind of pouring down his face now? Like, oh God, and it like goes on the other one that I originally asked, and then like boils start growing. I was like, oh, what the hell is this? Oh God, what did you do? What are you into? Oh my God, this is disgusting. And like as they just continue to pop their boils and such, like you see just pus continues to explode. It just becomes this hideous like section of the vent where they kind of keep exploding, and eventually they're like, oh God, we gotta clean ourselves up. Oh goodness gracious. And they start you hear them start like stumbling away and stumbling over top of one another, and like you can hear as they continue to push further and further and further away, but like they're stumbling. You can hear them like thump thump thump. Like, oh, watch where you're going, you son of a bitch. You got you. If you gave me this, I swear to God. And eventually you no longer hear them.
Okay, so then I'm gonna like weave my way down to where they were protecting, and then I'm gonna look through what they were guarding.
Okay, so when you peek through the vent, what you see is a kind of a series of like illuminated storage shelves and podiums, and you can see that there are all these like different sort of security lasers. Like you can see that they're like motion lasers and things like that. And on some of these like podiums, you can see there's like a piece of artwork of some kind, or on some of the shelves, you can see behind what you think might be glass. There's like various items. Like this just almost looks like a highly secure like museum room with all of these different like artifacts and vaults and things.
Like relics?
So I'm gonna like call to Rekka using our like communicators we have, right? Because we have like just communicators, right?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna say for now you still have them. That's gonna change momentarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call Rekka and be like, "Hey, I'm in the vents."
So we see Rika just like tying, like changing clothes and stuff like that. Yeah.
I've come across some room that looks like a museum. Could be the artifacts.
Okay, what floor do you want?
Fuck if I know. And I like, I try and like orientate myself by what I've done,
Doing the
what
math.
what I've remembered.
Yeah, you think you went up maybe like somewhere between 6 and 10, floors. You think?
Yeah.
So somewhere in that neighborhood, you're above. You're in the restricted area. Like you definitely know that you're in the restricted area.
Definitely in the restricted area, but like 6 to 10 floors above you. I don't know. Something in me tells me 9.
Okay. Do you need me to? I was gonna go up to try and get Ewan from the holding cells. I think he might be 15 floors above where we are. I'm gonna start there anyway, and we'll see if I need to change that. But down
hey, can you access the map?
Does Donna have anything on there?
Yeah. Nothing that would help him. She doesn't have any access beyond this floor. The only thing you guys really have is what the analog was able to collect, which is like you don't have like a floor layout of the executive levels. That's still kind of a mystery. They have a general idea of what might be up there, but not exactly where.
I'll say no then.
Right. Well, shit. I need to get to security because otherwise sewer people, they'll never come back up. Hey, Ivan. Hey, Agaricus. Rana? Shit, is anybody?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
fuck, they're in trouble.
Here.
Hey.
And as Verona says yes here, you just hear crazy alarms going off behind her, like just coming through on the comms.
Fuck, where are you?
We're in the middle of some shit at the moment.
I don't know.
What
Are
floor?
There's like a biohazard out here.
I'm in the fucking vents. I can get to you.
We're at waste management. I don't think you're gonna be able to get to us because Clover just set off the biohazard and everything just shut down.
Gravity's pretty
Yeah,
fast,
so
but
people didn't get
maybe
away.
not actually. All right, I'm gonna try to get to security. Fuck, no one knows where it is.
Have you found,
I've
have you found like artifact stuff? Because we got to get artifact stuff, and some of us then have to go try to get to the executive level.
Hey, you're a mind reader. Like, I'm seeing this thing. It looks like a museum. Like, I could go in and try and like
some of that stuff.
I could go in and try and do like the heisty type stuff, but without me getting to security, I don't know if I can help you out.
Well, you're already in the place to get the stuff, so get the stuff.
Okay.
Like Rana doesn't know. There's just alarms going off. She's hearing every third word that you're saying. So
yeah. So he's going to like ooze through the vent a little bit and like put it like out, and then like how you can kind of turn things to like get them back inside.
Okay.
And then he's going to look for like any sort of like keypad or terminal on here because he knows that there's lasers everywhere and all that stuff.
So your data jack though is probably much thicker than the little slats in the vent, right? So do you like, are you removing the vent and kind of spilling out and then reattaching? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I'm trying to remove the vent and like so that I can get the data jack through.
Okay, gotcha.
But I don't want to get on the floor.
Sure.
So like
it's lava.
Yeah, the floor is lava. So I just want to like look around and see like where that that keypad would be.
Sure. You can see there is a door in here that goes out of the room, and you can see right next to it there is a very high tech, very advanced. Doesn't look like the grimy stuff that you've seen in the analog. That almost seems like the wall itself just looks like this faux mahogany, and you can see in one of the panels of that faux mahogany there is a console over there very clearly. Okay. Right now it's just black. You don't see anything, but you assume it's the type of thing like touch upon activation upon touch or something like that. Sure.
Yeah. So what's the ceiling look like?
It probably about 5 feet ahead of you, like you or above you, and then it's relatively flat, but you can see like there's like these again faux like beams that kind of go across it, and there's these which look like dangle lights that probably help illuminate some of the display.
Okay. So what I'm going to try to do is like leave a little bit of my mass behind as I like try and spread some of my mass out across the lights so that like there's not too much weight on each individual light as I go across, and then work my way over to the data pad and use the key spike on that data pad. Okay.
So we basically kind of see like Mallory almost like octopus style, just reach one arm to kind of pull himself that across, and like you're weaving over.
I can see
and
it.
Eventually you get over there, you inject that data spike, and you get to work. We'll come back to that roll in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
let's touch back with the Pooh crew. So the Pooh crew, you can hear that there are several other workers in the area that appear to be like freaking out. They're panicking and they're like banging on the walls. And they're like, let us out, it's loose. So they're getting like really like terrified at this point. And they're up on like, you can, again, there's that wraparound, there's that kind of wraparound walkway. And like, there's a door that leads out of that. And they're all there. There's like maybe 3 or 4 people that are just banging like physically on the, Verona, you have the woman who looks terrified. And she's like, she looks over at Ivan. Oh no, kill him. And she's like pointing over at Ivan at this point. What would you guys like to do?
I need that drone forklift thing. And I'll point up at where Veronica's at with the lady.
Here to hurt any of you. We're not here to hurt you.
He's infected. Oh God. That was
He's been infected before.
Ghost.
He's fine.
Oh, no. Look at him.
When you look at him, you can see his eyes are like red. Like they're blood red.
So
You're
like
okay.
a
You have
lot.
control of yourself. You're just really
Okay.
fucking mad. Like you are just like super mad right now.
I am very mad and I want to leave this room. Could I just go up to like the main hangar door and just try to angry burn a giant hole through it to get out?
Sure you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where all the people are banging on the door and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. You go up and they're like,
Yeah.
oh shit. And they like kind of start scattering away from you. And like some of them are like covering their mouth and their nose. And you want to fire at this door. Okay, so there's gonna be you're gonna have a -2 on this because of various security procedures and protocols. And then what we say was a biohazard warning. So that's gonna be -3 because there is a biohazard warning in place in here. -3.
So with all of my extra things, does wrath affect me one way or the other?
In this case, I'll actually give it to you as a bonus for sure. Yeah, in this case, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does
that's
my
fine.
shot or burned or sickened come into play?
Because you're casting your spell. I think sickened might come into play. Maybe more than because this is casting. Like you're casting a spell.
Yeah.
You're not trying to like climb a tree or anything. You're in bad shape. You're in
I'm
pretty
in
bad
terrible shape, but being really angry kind of offsets things. I'm just rolling at a -1.
shape. Okay, give it a go.
So it's not terrible.
Okay.
Too angry to die.
Yeah. Double 4s, so that's a 10.
Oh man, look at you.
Wow.
Okay, that is a success. So describe what it looks like. As like it's a set of double doors. You can see that classic like yellow black diagonal stripe around it. There's lights that are flashing. Do not enter, biohazard warning, quarantine, stay in place. And you just, what do? What does it look like when you blow that door open?
Creature commandos when Alan Tudyk just goes through the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly that. Just pissed off, angry.
And
Walk through it.
you like burst through, and like there's an Ivan shaped. There's an Ivan shaped hole behind. It's just like this human form, and you just melt through the door as you step in like a raging inferno, and you step out, and you are in like a fairly wide corridor, and you can see that there are more of those like turrets along the way. None of them are immediately pointing at you, but you can see like the spots, the squares in the ceiling, like every so often where they pop up. But you also notice that as you burst through, an alarm now suddenly goes off in the middle of the hall. Mallory and Rika, all of a sudden, alarms start going everywhere. Mallory, you jam the data spike right into the panel, and like within a second, suddenly, and you hear all these extra mechanisms on the door from the artifact. Rika, you're kind of changing, and you hear like the alarms all go off. And this is just sort of standard security procedure, like if quarantine was just burst. But Ivan is busted through. He has made an opening. You guys are free to go, I suppose. What do you do?
I want to commandeer the forklift drone and try and get one of the turrets on it with my weapon witching. And
Ooh.
You want to take a turret down from the ceiling, affix it to the forklift? Is that what you're trying to do?
yes, using my weapon witching magic and weapon smithing.
So ridiculous. Let's do it. Yeah, give me a roll. Let's make it attract, because this is more like how fast can you do it?
Right.
Is that something I can help with?
Absolutely.
So kind of up on one. I already pulled myself up to one, so I've already kind of got my feet planted up there. I've got vines around it, so I'm helping to like yank it free to.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Take an extra point of power there, Clover.
Sweet. Weapon witching, weapon smithing. Share the luck, because Agaricus is helping.
Sure, he is helping. That's fine.
Yeah. Do that. I don't really think any of the other ones help that much. So we'll roll with that.
We'll just make this we'll make it quick, and as long as if you're 10 and above, you get it done really fast. If it's anything under that, we'll say just the consequences, it just takes a little longer. That's all it's going to be.
Okay. 11.
Okay. 11.
Nice.
The two of you were able to do this ridiculously quickly. Eric, as you rip it out. Okay, and so you just see the panel that it's attached to. Like, it was a heavy plated panel, but you had already kind of messed it up a bit, and you're able to kind of wrench it free the rest of the way with your vines, and then like as you hand it down to Clover with your weapon witching, you're able, like, what does it look like as you I don't know, like, is it like a spell? Are you like chanting anything?
It's more
what does it look like?
magical, definitely looking. So I'm picturing part of the weight of it's being suspended with like this purple and orangish magic. There's like the excess bits that I don't need are getting rusted off and just kind of deteriorating, turning into like little flakes. Okay. And it just kind of fuses itself to the top of this forklift drone.
So you have a forklift drone with a gun turret on it now inside of this warehouse. Ivan has just burned his way out of the warehouse. Vrana, this woman is panicking like crazy, but she's not trying to hurt you. She's like, let me go, please, let me leave, please. Just I didn't see anything. And just kind of covering her eyes.
Okay. We're not trying to hurt you. Are there any jumpsuits or hazmat suits or anything like that in here?
They don't give us that.
Yeah.
Of course they don't.
My bad on that. I thought you guys would be better prepared.
She just looks at you.
No, we're not.
And all right, what do you guys do? So Ivan's out in the hall. Do you guys follow him? What do you guys want to do?
That's the goal,
we're
is to
just gonna
follow
get
him
shot some more.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to use this distraction somehow to get to the executive level. Like, we're ultimately, I think, trying to get to the executive level, I believe.
Okay. You're pretty far up. I would say you guys climbed into the research and development area. So basically everything, like there's everything above 30, because a 30 is basically where Rika is, because she's like right near HR basically. But everything above it is like the restricted area. And so restricted area has got stuff like the research, like the secret research and development stuff, which is where Ewan was working. It's got like potentially executive holding cells where you think he's maybe being held. It's got that artifact vault and everything that people want you to dive into. Those types of things. So you're kind of up there. It's just a matter of kind of finding your way around, as the specific layout of this section of the building is kind of on the hush hush. So as you guys push your forklift through the Ivan shaped, I'm gonna say you just be able to knock the door down at this point. Like there's enough damage done to that door that it just falls to the ground. And you guys just roll on out of here like Fury. You're all just on top of the forklift. You just roll. So weird. This is the weirdest thing. Okay. So you guys do know that there are gun turrets along the way. You do know that there are likely going to be security here, and like you do know that there are alarms going off like crazy, and the secret might be out of the back. So, what's your strategy, or what's your plan for finding where you want to go? What do you think?
Are there any signs on the wall that say "You are here"?
There's definitely signs on the wall that kind of point to different locations. Right now, you're seeing arrows that are pointing to various labs. So, like, you see like testing labs. You see that all kind of around here.
Okay.
Well, could we retcon a minute back to when I still had the woman in front of me?
Okay.
And like, we're
She's
not
like,
trying to
I
hurt
thought
you.
you said I could go. You said.
Okay.
We're really not trying to hurt you. And I want to see if I can get her to tell me like where like executive levels, like how close are we to executive levels? Where would executive holding cells be?
Okay. Honestly, I think you're fine. I don't think you make a roll. I think you guys have intimidated the shit out of her, and she is terrified. So I think she would just be like, and she like rips off like maybe like one of her badges and kind of hands it over to you. It's like, it won't go up all the way, but this will get you up. And then she'll say that like like this level and like 2 levels above are just labs and testing labs. You want to go up. You want to go above that. Like this card, it'll take you kind of all the way through there. Like I don't go to the offices though. I'm just a tech.
Is there a freight elevator that's big enough for this?
It's bigger. And so she's like looking at you. Hang on, let me get it right. The walker drone. It's bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. And it goes up and down. So yeah, it's up there.
Okay.
And you can show us where the walker drone goes up and down?
Why am I going with you? You said I could go. No, leave me alone.
Just point.
Okay. So she'll like point down a hall, and it's the same hall that you can see these gun turrets along the way. And she's like freight elevator at the end, freight elevator at the end of there. But it might not open with the quarantine. And so like the alarms. And so she's a little panicked, but she kind of points you to an elevator at least.
Okay. Get everyone out to safety. We don't want to hurt you.
What? And she's looking at you like she doesn't believe you. But yeah.
Go. Okay.
All right. Okay. Let me check. Okay. Got something, Agaricus? Sorry.
No, I was just really enjoying this.
Okay. We're going to check back to Rika. Rika, you just finished switching out the clothes of Dear Donna Lime. And you have her things. You've got her key card. And right as you open up the door to the stall, all of a sudden alarms. What do you do?
I wanna step outside and first make sure to like alternate face and look like Donna and everything.
Okay.
But I wanna step outside. I wanna see like how are people reacting to the alarm? Is it just like a fire drill and people are kind of staying in their seats and working, or is there kind of pandemonium people are leaving?
Yeah, you see many people from the pretty much everyone from the cubicle area, from that big stall. They are all up the stable area and they're like working their way towards the exits at this point. And you can see that there's like supervisors that are kind of giving them instruction, and they're just saying, yeah, everyone just move along calmly. I'm sure it's just another test. It's nothing too terrible. And then all of a sudden, like the lights on the alarm go from like yellow alert to red alert. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit! Someone yells out, and it gets a little bit more panic, and they start kind of pushing past each other, like as they're trying to get to the exits.
Okay. Do I see Donna Lime's supervisor anywhere? Like the person she pointed out?
Yeah, we'll say, the guy. We'll say you can see him somewhere in the throng, and he's like just sort of pushing past people. He's like, no, supervisors first. Very important business, as they're trying to push past.
Okay, she feels significantly less bad about this interaction, but she's gonna run up to him first.
Okay. Why don't you give me your, because are you just gonna go up and pretend to be Donna Lime? Is that what you're doing?
Pretty much. And asked to speak to him privately. Because I will. My intention is to be a little sort of coquettish and like be like, I finally worked with the courage to like ask you a thing and I need to speak to you in private and like that way of doing things.
Okay. All right. So give me a roll to see how well you take on her appearance, and then how well you can kind of try to convince him to not just flee with the throng in panic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll say the panic is probably going to give you a -1 on this because he's probably.
Makes sense. I'm just scrambling. I'm sorry. I'm just like trying to fucking do something. Feels like alternate face.
Yeah, oh no, for sure, alternate face. Yeah, but like any other thing you want to do, like
I mean, I'd like to make a case for Dazzled and Impressed because she said that he liked her.
Sure. Yeah, I'm fine with all.
Okay.
I'm fine with all of your augmentation ones.
Oh, and impossibly good looks. So then that's the third
for sure.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then with your -1, so it's a net of +2.
Yeah. Okay. That's a 9 on the roll. So
okay,
11.
so that's gonna be 11. Okay, so I'll say like no, now's not really the best time. Oh goodness. Okay.
If I don't talk to you now, then you know what if something happened to us? I never got to say what I wanted to say.
And he's just like, what? And then, Donna, I didn't. And he's just like,
I'm gonna
looks around. And let's go to my office. Let's go to my office. There's a special lockdown in here in case this isn't a false alarm. And so he's like, so he like leads you back to his office, and he's got this beautiful office, big window. You can see like outside, like you're like God knows how far up on the Stratus building, and you can just still see the drone fights outside between like what Clover did. They're still kind of like getting in the way. They're like bumping, crashing here and there. And he's like, okay.
He's awake of destruction.
Burritos like all over the windows.
And he's just like, I need a drink. Do you want a drink? Okay.
Yes.
He goes over and he starts pulling. He like pulls out like, from his drawer. He does the classic.
As he has his back turned to pouring the drink, she's gonna knock him out.
Absolutely. And again, this guy, and I'm not gonna even make you roll for this again, because like this is just a guy, and he's not even looking at you, and you're just gonna knock him out, and he just collapses to the ground, and like the booze, I'm gonna say doesn't spill, because that would be tragic. Okay, so you're in his room, you're in his office. There's pandemonium going on outside. You're pretty sure no one's really paid attention to you doing all this, like amongst the chaos. You think you're scot-free. What's your next steps here?
If since there's pandemonium, I'm fairly certain nobody has eyes on me. I'm going to just change into him and take his key card and shit like right here, bro.
And are you gonna put his clothes on and everything too? You're gonna put the business.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have changed now into your best, the best you can. We'll see how good it is later, but like you do your best to make yourself look like this guy. Okay. Let's check in with Mallory. Mallory, you just squidded across the room, going from like one dangle light to another. You jam the data jack right into, you just physically jam this thing right into this panel, which lights up. And right as it lights up, all of a sudden the alarm just goes nuts. Like for a moment, maybe you think you just did something, but then you realize on the flashing board, it's a quarantine warning, right? It's a quarantine warning. Yeah, it's something about the WRA4.
I guess I shouldn't have made him sick.
Yeah, the virus is apparently loose. So yeah.
I should have made him sick. Huh?
Okay.
Well, so I'm gonna try and see if I can data spike this to disable the security in this room.
Okay.
And in order to do that, I'm assuming you're wanting me to build a roll.
Yeah, we're gonna need to build a thing. Yeah.
I'm going to use intrusion specialist, the data spike,
Mm-hmm.
and then crash systems and
Sure.
masquerade as real user because I'm trying to use the keypad.
Okay. Yeah. There are 2 things working against you, so go ahead and take those 2 penalties. So you're doing it, I think, a net of +2, I believe.
Right, but I think it would help if, or it wouldn't help. This will actually hurt, but I think it's appropriate. I had to get that data spike, and it was in me, making me nauseous. So I think the nausea would come into play here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so minus 3 total.
Yeah, so it looks like you're at a net of +1. And we'll do this as tracked, so that might so that we can kind of see how you want to apply some of your power afterwards.
Okay. I got a 7.
Okay, 7's not bad. You still have a power to spend. So I'll say what you essentially you realize as you're digging into this and you're trying to kind of disable the security, there are several layers that you're having to get through. And so effectively what you could do is with each successful attempt, you can remove a layer. And that's essentially what you're able to do, which means the next time you attempt it, it's going to be at -1. The consequence, however, is that you can go ahead and give yourself, I think you no longer have the track, right? You cleared that during downtime, I think. Okay. Give yourself alerted as you realize that there is somebody who is now alerted to someone's presence in a system on the executive levels. So give yourself alerted 1. And then do the roll again and see if you're able to get through that second level.
All right, so alerted 1 would apply. Do we think the nausea would be gone now since I removed it from me, or should that still apply?
I would say you don't even have to do the alerted 1. That consequence isn't necessarily going to come.
Oh, it's going to come in later. Okay,
it's going to come in something else. Yeah. So.
What? Intrusion specialist, crash systems, masquerade as real user, and the data spike, and the -2. So that's a net of 2. But I'm a glutton for punishment, as you know. And I think with all of this going on, what I'm doing would require concentration.
I think that's very fair. That's a good point. Okay, so go ahead and activate that weakness, tick your box, and then give it a roll with a net of +1.
You got this.
He does. Okay. You are going to take, as your consequence, obviously your alerted is going to go up. So you're now up to alerted 2. You know that, which means it's no longer just the executive level. They know it's where you're at. Like they basically have like an intrusion location. They don't necessarily know it's this particular room, but they know it's this area of the floor. So you know that they're probably going to be sending physical, some sort of physical reinforcement. But the good news is that you hear, and you look back, and some of the podiums and the shelves that were illuminated, you can see they are not, and you think you've shut down most of the security in this room. And like you could grab stuff if you want.
All right, so I'm supposed to get artifacts. Hey, and I've just put a signal out to anyone who's listening. Hey,
at this point, you guys realize that comms are jammed as part of this quarantine, and so you're you get this feedback kind of kicks towards you.
Yeah. Hey, Alf.
Alf.
Damn it.
What? Okay.
So, I start to just briefly take a look at what all we have in here. Now that all the lasers and everything's gone, I can go close to stuff.
There's a whole shelf filled with what looks like masks of some kind. Most of them are sleek and blood red. You can see that there is what looks like some kind of almost like a mic, not a microphone, like a gramophone kind of deal, like an antique record player with some kind of gold, encased in gold. It looks like there is on one of the podiums there, like, and it's like hovering from whatever device it's using to display it. There is this small, what looks like very dense metallic sphere that's kind of rotating around, and you can see like there's etchings and things on it. And then you can see on another one of these podiums, also kind of floating, there is this jagged crystal that's glowing. It's fairly red, and then. Yeah, and then on one of the other shelves near where underneath the shelf of masks, you can see there's a series of what looks like rolled metallic scrolls with like these sharp edges and these glyphs kind of engraved in them. You would imagine these are all, to some varying degrees, source touched items.
Shit, what were we supposed to retrieve? Was it all of them or just
things
some
of
specific?
value?
No, I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, I just
Yeah. But no, now out of character. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble just because the time period in between when we found out the mission and
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah, I think it was just things of value for the analog for helping us out. Like,
Yeah.
we're just
Okay.
supposed to
were
give
told
them
to watch
stuff we
out
find.
for
Smash and grab.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So I'm
Whatever you
looking
can
things
fit back
over.
in the vent.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Pretty
So
much.
I'm looking these things over and I'm like, all right, I'm pretty sure I can like get the mask through if I could get my head through. And then like the scrolls.
The gramophone, you definitely couldn't. It's too
Yeah, I
big
know.
to go
There's
through the
no
vent.
way.
Yeah. Everything else, I
so-
think you could.
There's a minimum of 2 things that we need. One to get Rana's hand back and one for the analog. So that's
Mhm.
if we can get more, great, but
Mhm.
at a minimum, that's what we need.
All right. So yeah, like how many of these masks are there?
There's like a group of 4, and then underneath them on a second level, there's those 4 scrolls. So there's basically 4 of each.
All right. I'm gonna grab 4 masks
Okay.
and like see like how I can arrange them and like look at the vent real quick, look at that. And then I'll switch one out for a scroll.
Okay.
And like I'm gonna try and see like where they could fit on my body, and if I could like put them sequentially in line without having to like go broadly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm holding them up to me at first, and like just trying to see how many I can get like sequentially. Because if I put 2 side by side, then that could pose some real problems in those vents.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You're
yeah.
putting more thought into this than I did. So, however many masks you want to take at them, you got them. And I think you can,
Okay.
and you can fit them into the vents. If you want to take all 4, you are more than welcome to.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
And then I want to take all the scrolls if I can.
Yeah,
But,
no problem.
yeah, I don't want to break what we've got going on. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All right.
think
So I just
You're good with all that. Yeah, no problem.
like,
Okay.
You're turning yourself into a long like mailing tube.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Gonna
It's
stick out
pneumatic somehow.
You're just like opening up little pockets. Like everyone else has like these little pockets. Not you. You just rip your skin off and just
Oh,
jam
yeah,
something in
like,
it and put the skin back up. That's what you do.
Yeah, like my hair is like even shorter than my real life hair because it falls out whenever I do the switching and changing and stuff, and then like my
Kinda
clothes
like
are
Velcro.
just rags, and like they constantly get new holes in them and stuff like that. So I gotta secure.
You're stacking up the masks, and that's when you suddenly hear a sound from the door as you hear like from the panel where you jammed your data jack in, like a little alert comes up, and then there's like voices on the other side. Someone's on the outside and they're trying to come in. We're going to come back to you though, and we're going to check on Verana and Agaricus, Ivan, and Clover, who are well, Ivan is like Johnny Flame or whatever, and the rest of you are on like a makeshift forklift tank. So basically, if you've been to Home Depot or something like that and you've seen the forklift, imagine that, but with like a Gatling gun on it. And that's essentially what you guys are doing right now. You do know that at the end of this long hall with these gun turrets that are going to come down from the wall in a second, there is a freight elevator. So as you start moving forward, you see one drops down, starts turning in your direction. What do you guys do?
Time to see how well this works and start firing at the turrets.
Okay, Clover, you want to do it? Okay.
Yep.
I will say
on turret action.
Yeah.
Usually you got to pay extra for that.
I'm gonna say take a power for the forklift, take a power for the gun. So that's 2, and then add whatever else you want on top of whatever else you have on top of that you think would help you aim, organize, use this machine.
Yeah, it's definitely weapon witching, and then I don't know. I feel like I'll tap into capricious as a negative, just for I feel like Clover's kind of giddy, and there's just a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, it's pretty crazy going on right now. All right, yeah. So go for it, man. There is a -1 because they do have armor plating. Okay, but otherwise you're good to
go. Maybe weapon smithing. I don't know if I can apply that as well.
I think it's fine because you actually use that to create this monstrosity of an item, and I'm fine with that.
Okay, cool.
We're having fun.
I feel like Verona and Agaricus are just kind of looking at each other behind this.
I like to picture I'm not even like physically aiming it. I'm just kind of like holding my hands behind it. That's just kind of being pointed around with this purple energy stuff. We'll do attack.
Oh dear.
Oh.
That's not a good roll. Okay.
It's not.
Okay. So as you're turning, you're trying to. That's a 6 you rolled, by the way. As you're trying to get the thing to target, it's just not going up. Maybe it's simply because of it's coming down from the ceiling. You can't quite get the pitch on it, and so you're just and you can't quite get it up. But like it fires down at you, so it's gonna give you.
Yeah,
it's just gonna shoot. Oh no, not that item. Sorry, I had the wrong. I almost gave you something that. A different thing can do. A different drone can do.
Oh no.
Okay, go ahead and as it fires down, you can take. You can take. Just take shot 2.
Okay.
Okay. As this thing, you can mitigate if you have if there's anything you want to. If there's anything you think that you can do to mitigate the gunshots coming back at you.
Also, when I fully upgrade. Mm-hmm. Does that happen immediately?
It does.
If I fully upgrade tab?
It does, yeah.
Because that was my last upgrade point for my Risk Taker's Luck Charm.
Okay.
Thing.
Is there anything you're going to take right now that's actually going to be beneficial to you in the moment?
It'll take me a bit to pull that up. But
okay.
What all's on that? So
basically,
I'll look
you're
at
getting
that later.
shot. So it's really just a mitigation roll. So like, if there's anything that you think you have, like armor or dexterity or anything like that,
the warding tattoos, which are pretty much always my defensive one. I've got the wary tag still. I don't know if that's worn off from a while back.
That was in the sewer, I think, if I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have that
was.
still.
No, I think you can keep wary on. That's fine. Because you know that they have weird machines and stuff in here. Okay, so go ahead and roll it. Looks like you have 2. Just give it a roll.
Okay. That. Oh, not investigator. Warding tattoos.
And remember, there's a mitigation. There's actually a mitigation button. I think it's 1.
Mitigate. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. That's 7.
7. So you can mitigate. So you can spend 2 power to mitigate the consequences. So describe how your warding tattoos protect you from these gunshots.
They just kind of brightly light up in front of me and kind of deflect them. They still might graze me just a little bit, but not in like a fatal way. And they're just kind of directed around me. So
just like they suddenly start to illuminate, and then you see the bullets just come out. Mm-hmm. Some of them kind of clink off of the actual forklift itself. The gun is still there, and it's like reloading and getting ready to fire once more. Does anybody else want to try to do something about this?
I will light it on fire.
Okay. All right.
Angrily.
As you are. Angrily. Sure. Okay. Put it together. Again, they have the hardened plating. That's really the only thing that's going to work against you.
Okay. What was that penalty? Was that 2? 1?
Just one.
One.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you have a lot of negatives working against you too, I think.
I do. I'm counting because I'm leaning on angry to kind of
fine with that,
counteract my physical.
Mhm.
Actually, that would be a 6.
What from?
I forgot to account for my wary, or no, my sickened.
Okay. All right. So, what I'll say is, yeah. So what we'll say is, would you have rolled? Would you have continued to go even with like the extra negative and everything?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you guys see as like Clover is trying to adjust the turret. It's not quite working. The thing comes back. Ivan steps up, tries to launch this like this arc of flame, but it quickly, because it's got that motion sense, just churns back over and starts firing at Ivan.
Oh,
Ivan,
no.
do you have anything to mitigate this?
No.
Okay.
Oh no.
So it's going to give you, I mean, shot 2, I feel like. So you take
Okay.
shot 2. How are you
I've
looking?
already got shot 2, so that would bump that up to shot 3.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So you watch as Ivan fires. It doesn't quite work. You see the flame diminish on the ceiling, but as the flame diminished, the bullets come through like the smoke from Ivan's spell and just kind of hit Ivan a couple times. And then it's as it charges up once more to fire Agaricus or Verana. Anything you want to do?
Sure. Oh boy. So it's like in the middle of reloading. I think it'd be fun, like, to have the roots go up and try and grab around it, but also use some vegetative grooves, like as it's trying to reload, intentionally just have like tree roots and bark just growing inside of it to try and mess it up as it's reloading.
Okay.
Because it's pulling all that crap in.
Trying to tangle in like some of its inner workings. Okay.
And then, just because it's adorable, while I'm doing that to try and sabotage it internally, Ariana can just shoot it.
Yeah, you just gotta hit it once in the right place, sweetheart.
And she starts to aim. Hardened, its plating will come into place because it's kind of hard to find the seams to get into the machinery. So we'll say that comes into play.
And then grab her thing. Oh, coordinated attack. There you are. And quick or track? Sorry.
This is gonna be tracked.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that tracks, man. This game hates me.
Oh, that is
Otherscape. I love
eyes.
in theory, but man, this game is unkind.
Yeah, Ivan had a snake eyes too, and
We
I
missed
think
you.
yeah. So as you
All
start
right.
to, okay, so we'll say I'll just give you shot 2 as it just turns and starts firing, and this thing is just. If you have anything protective that you haven't used already in this interaction, you can mitigate that.
I've actually got a few things.
Okay.
Because fortunately, Ariana does watch my back.
Okay.
I do
Armored skin?
bark armored skin. And also, thanks to my impressive physique, he just has a weird physiology. He can avoid injury.
I like it. So that's a 3. So
Yep.
Yeah, give it a roll.
And that's under quick then?
That's under mitigate. So it'd be mitigate consequences.
Oh, I see it now.
That's better. There you go.
There we go.
Okay. So
Garrick
it hits
can't
you.
do anything. He'll just live forever.
And you just take it all up as like little bits of bark, and your body just reshapes. It's like this hardened flesh, and like the bullets just kind of bounce off. And then like as one of them is coming, and it looks like it's about to hit you, everyone just hears a poof, and you just watch as like Ariana just shoots like a bullet that just hits that bullet mid-flight and just deflects it off to the side.
Like, you're okay, sweetie. I've got you. You're gonna be just fine.
You're here.
Well, I'm not really here, but
you are to me.
I mean, in spirit. Oh God, it's firing again!
Oh no!
Okay.
So, Brana.
Okay.
So first, Melissa would like to thank Table of Horrors for the raid. Welcome,
awesome.
raiders.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
So Verona is tasked with taking out this turret. So I would say for Verona, like this is going to be dagger. So she is going to use her ancient fighting techniques and her ritual dagger and bringer of retribution because this dagger is hurting her friends. So that is the pool that I'm putting together to try to dagger this turret. So trying to cut something that's going to like prevent it from working.
Okay. So you're okay. Yeah, go ahead and give that a roll. The hardened plating. Don't forget, you guys don't always have to just attack it. Like you're welcome to do things to try to create a statuses on it, like make it distracted or gum up the works in some way, or like which could give it negatives, or you could do something that kind of boosts or buffs another person. Like especially those of you who have some sort of magical skills, you could say I'm going to make a roll to try to bestow like a buff on somebody, like literally like buffing somebody, so that they have that to play with when they roll. So like you don't all just have to like individually attack. Like you can figure out ways to just help like boost and buff one person, so that when they go to roll, they have like your buffs. The target's got it debuffs, and it just makes the roll that much easier. It's just like setting other people up. But what you got? Yeah. What are you rolling?
True. Yeah, I think for Verona, so I've got 3 that I've got for attract attack. And awesome. That is a 4 freaking teen.
That is phenomenal. Okay, so what would you like to spend
3
this on?
power. So can I turn this into a powered down 3? That I like somehow like cut wiring or something, so it's like taking those 3 and turning it in, like it disrupt.
So you're not so much destroying it; you're just getting that lucky slice of the dagger as it just happens to hit like a power connector, and it just kind of shorts it out. I will take it, and that's exactly what happens. Is the dagger flies out. It does actually have a limit of 3 for shutdown. And I'll say that you're able to, as the dagger stabs into it, it looks like it's about to charge up once more, but then all of a sudden it just goes, and it just kind of hangs limp all of a sudden. And you're able to take it down, or shut it down. Okay.
Sweet.
Okay.
Sweet.
So there's an open pathway to this freight elevator. Okay. Do you ride your fucking forklift? Okay. So you ride your forklift, and you try to get onto this freight elevator. I would normally probably ask for a roll, but because you have a forklift, I'm going to assume that you can potentially use the forklift to just sort of physically tear open the doors. We'll say that. Rika, we're going to check in with. Yeah, go ahead, Verona. Sorry.
Would I be able to, as we're getting into this, like, can I approach Ivan to try to like do any healing with him and this like inhalation that happened? Yeah. Like, is there anything that I can do with like medical training?
Many gunshot wounds, so you could try to help with that. He's very angry looking right now, and his eyes are bloodshot or like bright red. What are you looking to do?
I would say probably with my regen gel and medical training, probably the thing that I can try to do is kind of like sneak behind him and throw some regen gel into some of his gunshot wounds.
Sure.
It might be the thing that I'd be able to do quickest in this particular moment in time.
Okay. Yeah, give it a go.
Oh, yes. That regen
11.
gel that's gonna save us all.
Okay.
Regen gel for
2
sure.
power. So you can buy down 2 powers of shot. So you can basically take down two levels of your shot status if you wanted to.
Okay, so shot 3 down to shot 1?
Or even the burn side, whatever it is you prefer. But yeah. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Meanwhile, Rika, you have taken over the clothes of of Donna's supervisor. You have his badge. Craziness is going on outside in the stables. They've all moved towards the elevators and the exits. What are you doing next?
Nana said that the holding cells were 15 floors up, and that her supervisor went up there for debriefings occasionally. So she's gonna try and get to the executive elevator and go 15 floors up.
Okay. I will say that you have done the work. Everyone's fleeing. You get to the elevator. Like it's a completely separated elevator. No one has gone to it. It is like literally an executive elevator. It's completely separate. It's in a different area. You look around for a bit. You find the arrows. You hear the people shouting, and you realize the shouting is kind of becoming pretty intense. It's not just people panicking, but people are like really, really yelling. And like you also smell something really foul and strange. Like there's like a weird a smell like this. It's not quite ozone. Something worse. It's not a pleasant smell. It's not a pleasant aroma. Is starting to permeate in the stables here. But you find the executive. You hit his badge.
Sorry, before we move on, is there a recognizable smell?
It's nothing you've smelled before. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so you hit the. Well, actually, wait. I think you were. I would say that. Yeah, I actually think you might. You would. Yeah, you would. You do recognize the smell. Now that I say it, it probably has a faint resemblance to an odor that you smelled at the Glow Market. It's way more potent here. The Glow Market had a bunch of food and stuff that was kind of washing it out. But like here, it's so potent. But yeah, you smell it here.
Okay.
Ooh, good question.
Do you want to go up?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna file that information away.
Okay. You hit your badge. The doors do in fact open for you. And it's like, welcome so and so, and you step on, and you start going up. You know that he has had to go up to these levels before to do like those like conferences and debriefs and stuff, and so you're just. And you're going up.
I'm trying to go up to the level that Donna said the holding cells were on, so it's specifically 15 floors up.
Yeah, I don't know if she. Did I tell you that she knew where the holding cells were?
That's what she said to me. I have no idea if that's true or not. That's the only direction that Becca has.
Okay. Yeah, it's just not really. I mean, I don't remember if I specifically said that to you, but we'll say that's fine. So you start going up. You get out, or the doors open up, and you see there are 4 big red riot officer guys in full riot gear, like the reflective heads, the helmets, the reflective, everything from head to toe. They are covered in armor of some kind, and they all badge and identification, and it just like echoes out through their voice.
Okay. And I'll pull out the badge and hand it over to them while saying the name on the badge.
Yeah. What do you think his name is? I was going to say it's Ronald Jr.
Oh my god, yes!
Okay. So.
Can we make it Ronald the Third?
Sure. Ronald the Third. Okay. So it's Ronald the Third. Okay. So you step off, you hand it down, someone takes it from you, and they like, so one of them doesn't have their gun pointed at you currently, and they're like scanning it, and they look at you. Go ahead and now's a good time to give me that roll for your trying to impersonate this guy.
Sure. So definitely alternate face.
Sure.
I don't know if corporate investors would work here because I'm trying to come off as someone who fucking works here.
Right. I don't think you
It's
and I
okay
are
to
ever on the
say
same
no,
page
it's
with
a
corporate
threat.
investors. Yeah, I don't think you and I are interpreting that tag the same way.
It is listen, I'd be an asshole if I didn't ask.
Because like I think of corporate investors as a way of you gaining access to gear or tech
so
or
do
information
I.
because they invest in you,
Funds.
not
So do I.
necessarily
Funds.
to help you convince. Yeah. So
like I said, I'd just be an asshole if I didn't ask. I don't have anything else that feels like it would work. So
Okay.
I think it's just one.
there are 2 tags working against you in this situation. They are well trained and they stay on mission. So you have those 2 working against you.
Okay.
No hard to concentrate weaknesses for them.
Yeah, seriously, right? Gonna roll my physical dice. I rolled a 9 plus
Of course you
1
did.
minus 2.
Yeah,
No,
they had
what's my
well, minus
negative?
2 from there were minus 2, but I don't know what the net was because you activated a couple
I
things,
just
right?
activated the 1 tag.
Okay, so it's just a minus 1.
alternate Face.
-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the total?
Okay. 8.
Okay, so they just scan and like checks out. Okay, Ronald the Third, and then like they hand you back your your tag. You're still gonna get a consequence, but it's not gonna be like a tag or anything like that. In this case, it's just gonna be a narrative consequence, and it says the executives are gathering as testing procedures continue. They're taking advantage. Go into conference room 5, and then like he turns over to somebody else, and they're like, escort Donald. What's his name? Ronald the Third to conference room 5, and you can see one of these big old hulking like Mountie guys like just like looks at you. Follow me, and they all kind of sound the same.
Sure.
You know, like big robotic and Canadian or something. I don't know.
Right.
And as you're walking, they're like, "What's this alarm all about?" or something. And then they, and so they're trying to escort you. So one of them is like taking you and escorting you to a conference room.
Okay. Can I do anything, or are we moving to someone else?
The consequence is that you have an escort on you.
Yeah.
So.
I'd like to say to him, like, I know where the conference room is. You don't need to escort me.
You seem to be confused. You're being escorted because you are a security threat. Or you are under security threat. Sorry, you aren't the one. You are under a threat. My bad. Totally different. That one word really changes that statement, doesn't it?
All right, thank you. And
so-
she will let herself be escorted.
Okay. And so you're just like, tush, 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 tush. And you're walking down like these extremely sleek, futuristic halls. You can see that there's that kind of that glass that kind of frosts and then unfrosts and stuff. But you can see there's a lot of empty offices. And you can see that there's like cameras freaking everywhere. And like you're passing by offices, you're passing by conference rooms. You can see there's these big displays. You can see on the far end of one hall, there is this massive looking drone that's just like it's sitting right in front of this huge panel of windows where you can see behind it is like the sky. But he's like taking you. And eventually you see a conference room filled with other people. When I say conference room, it's enormous. And like there's all sorts of these like pseudo leather chairs and stuff like that. You can see there's all sorts of dudes and a couple women that are just like drinking and they're watching these different screens. And then the Mountie guy opens the door for you. Please go inside, Mr. the Third.
Cute. She walks in.
Okay. And so they turn and they look back at you and like someone just calls out, "Hey, Roddy boy, go get yourself a drink. The party's just getting started." And like they're looking up and you can see on the screens, there's all these different floors and sections of the building. and it's just like pandemonium on them. You can see one is like the cubicle area where you were. You can see there's like craziness in some of the warehouses. There's just nonsense going on everywhere.
Do I see my party anywhere on any of the screens?
Oh, on the screens. That's a great question. You do not see Mallory. And they were in the elevator, so I'm gonna say no, not currently at this moment. You do,
Okay.
unbeknownst to you, see the residue of some of their actions as there is an Ivan-shaped hole in one of the doors that's laying on the ground.
Okay, on my way to this conference room, was I able to see any kind of indication of where holding cells might be?
No, I don't think so. You were you literally are like in the offices. I'll tell you what. Do you have any kind of? We could do a quick roll to see if maybe you happen to catch like at the right time, like a kiosk screen showing something. Give me a quick roll. Just give me like a quick roll, something that like for observation or persuade or perception or something like that.
For observation.
Anything that might.
Yeah, I the only thing that seems even remotely like usable to me is worked on usual jobs, and that feels like a fucking stretch that I would say no to.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Give me a heads or a tails. I have my little coin. I like this coin. It's fun. Heads or tails.
Well, again, Steven tells me tails never fail, so tails.
Well, Steven's wrong. That's a head. Sorry.
God damn it, Steven. This is why you don't listen to Steven.
Okay. There's a lot of reasons I don't listen to Steven. I'm just kidding. HuckleberryRPG.com. Okay, so you are not sure. You think they're on this floor, but you didn't necessarily pass. But you're in this conference room and you see pandemonium is breaking loose, and you are surrounded by a dozen executives all drinking booze and smoking cigars and doing all sorts of awful rich people shit. Okay, let's see, who did we last go to? Who haven't we checked in for a while? Let's go to Mallory. Last we heard of you, you had jammed your data jack into data spike into thing. You just collected a couple of these artifacts, but you hear someone at the door. What do you want to do?
All right, so I know they're coming, so I'm just gonna extendo reach and grab the jack, and then
you're gonna Gumby. Go gadget. Okay,
Mr. Fantastic, and then I'm gonna step on the I'm gonna really quickly take off my shoe and step on the grate, and then go up into the vent system and pull the grate up with me by my foot melting into it and pulling it up. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get out.
Give me a quick outcome test to see if you can do this fast enough where they don't see you. So if you pass without consequence, otherwise they might just randomly shoot or something after you.
Yeah. So I would be elemental body, transform specific body parts.
Yeah, your usual pack.
Any negatives?
Okay. No, not in particular.
All right. Quick.
This path with this has just been
all you need is a 10 or higher.
I got a 12.
You nice. Quickly, you grab everything you need, you launch yourself up, you pull the vent behind it, and you get it in place right as the door opens up, and you can see, much like with what I was just describing with Eureka, 4 of these fully geared riot officers slip into the building. At this point, they're looking, and you can hear their voices, and they're they identify the fact that you've stolen some stuff, and they're communicating. Mm-hmm. You can hear, you can see their faces are starting to light up, and you can vaguely hear that they've clocked that someone's in it, and they contact somebody else.
Can I take control of the camera for just a second?
Sure, man.
Yeah, the camera pans up and it sees that gooey foot holding onto the vent, and then from the center of the foot an eyeball pokes out. That's that.
Okay. All right. What do you do next? You've got a way. What do you do next?
So I'm going to futilely like try and communicate on the system, get feedback, and then I'm gonna kind of go back the way I came, but I'm going to start heading downward because I want to see if I can just find other people. So it may take me a while to do it because I'm going through these vents, but I'm just trying to recon because I've got this stuff. I need to find a way out, but I also need to make sure that I don't leave my team behind.
Okay.
Get out, sole survivor.
Okay. Just gonna do a little flip of the coin here. Okay.
Yeah, I've been playing my own game here.
I know, right? Mallory, you start to descend a couple floors. It's probably 3 floors or so. As you're going through the vents, you suddenly hear the sounds of like as if something like there's equipment near you, and maybe like a voice or two, like outside of one of these vents. And when you take a peek, when your eyeball does its eyeball peek, you see rolling off of a freight elevator is Agaricus, Verana, Ivan, and Clover on a fucking forklift that has a Gatling gun attached to it as they.
And then from the vent, like I'm gonna like put my mouth up there somehow and be like, "Hey guys!"
You guys hear that?
Fireball.
Hop on.
He's pissed off. Yeah.
And then yeah, like I'll like kind of start to ooze through it, and then like put enough pressure to like bust out the vent.
And the vent
and like
clatters down,
and then fall down with a slap and a clatter because I've got all this stuff with me.
Mallory.
There's stuff scattered all over the place.
Hang on. As I'm reassembling myself. Hey.
It's very good to see you.
Hey, you seen Rekka?
Nope.
She went in the front door with you.
Yeah, we kind of got split up because she couldn't fit through the vent. At least I think that's. I don't know. She was doing her thing. Maybe
she's doing fine.
Maybe she's having fun with what's her name.
Maybe, but we're here for a job. But maybe. That all that noise, that was us. That was
good distraction. Yeah. And like, I got something for you. As I like hand her a scroll.
Oh, I would love to look at all of those things later. That's great.
That's going to get you your hand back.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So very appreciative of that. Just so you know, he inhaled some stuff and he's a bit testy at the moment.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
What? Dude.
Yeah, he's kind of infected with some stuff that fell out of a containment barrel.
You shot open.
Yeah, and then
distraction. Great distraction.
Yeah. Now they have to deal with that.
Hey, we get some time.
Yes.
Maybe we can work together to fix him.
I'm just gonna come over. I'm gonna have a grab bag of ideas. So one idea is, just going to secrete a little bit of opiate.
Wait, should we be doing this here? Are we safe?
No.
I don't know.
I'm just doing it.
Do it, man.
I'm going to do a bit of opiate. I'm sure that Ariana has some sort of other, medications she can pull out of the magic backpack that is appropriate for anger. Zoloft.
I've got methamphetamines, sweetheart. Do you want some methamphetamines?
The wrong direction.
Let me help you up, buddy.
So we're going to hit this from 2 fronts. We're going to do a little bit of plant-based medicine, a little bit of more corporate medicine, and then on top of that, I'm going to put my 4 to his. I'm going to do a psychic blast. Not so much trying to harm him.
Wait.
I'm going to combine it with let out the rage.
Dude, before you do
specifically
it.
trying to push the rage out of his mind, as the drugs also try to calm him.
Okay. This sounds fantastic.
Crossfade 28 days later zombie.
Yeah.
I love that tag.
Yeah.
That's an awesome tag. Let out the rage.
So what's the total you have?
It would end up being 4.
Okay, it's gonna be. I'm trying to remember. Do you have anything on you that would count against you? I think his wrath will count against you actually, since you're trying to lower that.
3.
So -3. So you have a net of 1 on your roll.
How do I put a minus?
At the very bottom. Yeah, at the very bottom,
see.
you see the 0 plus or minus.
Put a minus
like an ad
3
hoc.
after that?
Exactly.
Now
And
I
it
see.
should all
I
work
hadn't
out.
messed with that before.
Hey, dude, can
All
I
right.
help you out here?
And then, I don't know.
Hey, like, so it's in his blood, right?
He breathed it in.
He breathed it
He
in,
breathed
so
it?
yeah, he breathed it in. It's probably go through his bloodstream. Hey, like, real quick, I'm just gonna like reach my hand out towards him and be like, dude, it's okay. We're Element Bros. And I'm gonna try and like read his blood through detect blood and see if there's anything I can see that's in there to help Agaricus.
Yeah, I like it. Let's we're near the end, so let's just make it a plus 1 for Agaricus.
Okay, so turn it into just a -2 then.
Yeah, so you'll have a net
And then-
of +2 at the end of the roll, I think.
Quick or track?
It's going to be tracked because that determines if you can lower stuff.
All right. Let's try to not roll hot garbage.
We have faith in you, Jeremy.
I clicked it. Nothing happened. Let's try it again. All right. That +1 made all the difference.
Nice.
Got to a 10.
Nice.
Oh yes.
Yay.
All right, so you got a 10. You've got 2 power. So what you can essentially do is you can reduce his status by 2 down to 1.
Okay.
So it goes from like wrathful 3 to like, annoyed 1 or whatever, however you want to phrase it. It's fine.
Gotcha. So if I used 4 points worth of stuff, could I potentially do 2 for?
No, because it's the net. So the net
Oh, it's
of
the
power
net.
that you
I get
have
it
is
now.
2.
I see.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But you
So,
do
yeah.
that helps. That helps significantly actually, because that tag, if I thought it would apply, it would actually give him like a big negative. Like if he tried to talk to
okay.
somebody, calmly, he would that would go up. Okay.
It's just your brain is like bombarded with like the cheesiest 60s and 70s like floating images of lights and stuff go through your brain as his little mushroom gills light up.
Okay.
His
I
eyes
don't hate
are
you all as
slightly less red.
Okay. So I'm going to say, because we're nearing the end, so I'm going to say, as you guys continue to explore, you hear the sounds of voices, of boots on the ground, etc. You also see some signage, holding cells, and it kind of like down this long hall. But as you kind of peek down it, you can see that right in front of these holding cells there is a massive those riot officers, fully decked, fully they have their full armor on it. And then as we like crossfade to, or whatever the hell it is, to Rika and the executive offices, we can see like as you're watching the cameras, Rika, occasionally they switch and you can see the holding cells. And you see, and one of them is a kind of a scrawny looking man that you would know from your intelligence file that you got from Loloba. That's you and Martel. And then you can see as they're continuing to like PowerPoint through different images of the area. You see like there's whole sections of floors where there's like people just literally rioting with each other, just beating each other up. And then you can see down in the lobby the same kind of thing is kind of happening. You can see people are just fighting left and right. And in the executive suite, they're just like, release another dose. And they take like some sort of cigar thing, and someone's like, okay, and they like hit a couple buttons, and then you can see like this one of the screens just shows just like infection levels kind of growing, and then the door opens, and in walks like a man who is, I don't know, 6'4", 6'5", broad shouldered. You can see he's got what appears to be a red mask on. I can't see his face, but he's got like this sort of salt and pepper comb over. And then, but as all the others kind of turn around and see them walk in, Mr. Malric, sir, yes. And like they're all kind of like suddenly like licking his boots. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end for tonight with with you being in the executive office with them.
Oh, good gosh.
Okay.
Made it.
You guys have made so much
Ooh.
progress. So you're in the
Yay.
hallway by the holding cells, probably with a fight with these riot officers. Rika's in the executive suite with the CEO of Ironclad and other people. And 28 days later is happening in the...
Oh,
I've been mixing a lot of
nobody
influences.
wanted Rika
I love
life,
it.
right? Because that's probably not going to happen.
Oh, goodness. And somewhere down the line, bleeding out to death. It's a shame.
Oh, don't say that.
All right.
Good gracious.
Let's...
And Ivan's not going to burn us all to death now because Mallory and Agaricus were
You weren't
together
supposed to
in the-
inhale it.
You're supposed to hold your
That's
breath.
not what I've heard.
Oh, goodness. All right. Let's go ahead and do our close and plugs, and then we will get on out of here. So let's go ahead. Who's on? Adam, what's going on with Can and Otter, man?
Well, we are working on Skin City. We aim to have the Monster Boyfriend catalog finished by the end of this month, which means it will go to layout after that. And in the meantime, though, if you want to support the studio so that Chuck can get some chicken nuggets, right?
Two for
Not
two.
something else, right? Then you should go to store.canonotter.com and pick up a copy of Teenage Odyssey. Welcome to the 90s. Remember that phrase? You can relive it here. Or live it for the first time.
Joe.
Awesome.
Yeah. The before times.
You were alive in the 90s.
You were alive.
Quit
in
it.
that decade. Yeah.
Yeah. I was born in them.
In them. Shut up.
He
Before
might have
they
been
ended.
alive, but was he really living?
That's true. Every man is born in the 80s. Or no, in the 90s. Not every man. I'm sorry. I was going to do a Braveheart thing and it didn't work. Let's see. Next up, Maitre. Where can we find you on the internet?
I am Mind to Please Games on YouTube, where I make system agnostic or multi-system tabletop content that centers the GM and player experience. That you should check out if you feel like checking that kind of thing out.
Very, very cool. And then Chuck and Joe, what's going on with you? Okay.
What do we got? Wednesday, we've got Savage Rift. And then Friday, we've got some more Pathfinder. And then Joe's got something Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. If we've got everybody, we're doing Salvage Union, our Rules Light Hex Crawl campaign. Last session, they found a bunch of people that turned into Roombas, and it's great.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. As for us, first, HuckleberryRPG.com by our dear friend Steven. Cinematic horror action western. Updates coming. Go play it. It's a lot of fun. As for streaming, tomorrow night we are starting up a new stream. Kipser is going to be running a game for us. A game we've played before, Perils and Princesses. She's running us through the what's it called? Sweet Revenge campaign. So she's going to be taking over the GM seat. Very excited for that. Thursday, you can see some of us here playing through some Swords of the Serpentine, which has been a lot of fun, just making their family absolutely awful and then a little bit more awful. Friday, Steven is going to be starting up Magnus Archives for us. We're going to be doing session 0. So we're going to be doing character creation, stuff like that. So it's the same crew that played Delta Green, except Steven and I switch. And then Saturday, we got some Call of Cthulhu. And then we'll be back on Monday with more of this. And so that's what we got. Let's go ahead and let's raid somebody and get the hell out of here. So thanks for watching. If you're watching this later or listening to this later, we appreciate you as well. Check the description for everyone's stuff. We're going to raid Big Damn Gamers, playing some Pathfinder 2e. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.